Going on, guys? Welcome back to another video today. We are working on the ITB Turbo Miata motor FC right there with the nice pink valve cover. Today's duty, we're actually going to be installing the ITBs on it. I took the time to clean them up a little bit, at least take a wire wheel to them and brush off all the gunk. Now they just look like tarnished metal, but at least they're fairly clean. They are laid out in order of the direction they go, from the back of the engine to the front of the engine. Basically how these all interlink and work is actually pretty straightforward. If you look on the sides of these, they have these little mechanisms right here, and these are threaded rod with an Allen key on the ends of these. Now these just slip between the plates on the other side and work your way down. Same thing here. This thing just stacks on top of that, and then this thing again has two of them that it just pins between. And then you have this little contraption which your throttle cable goes in here, through here, over this one, and into here. And this little rod, my helpers are being very loud, that runs up into this little ball, and that's actually what controls all of this. So this presses down, and then that'll actuate all four of these. So that's essentially how it works. Now, when you're putting these together, there's two spots that you have to worry about. One of them is that all of these open at the same exact time simultaneously. So that's what those little adjustment screws are on that. And then you have these little adjustment screws right here, which is essentially your idle air control for each individual throttle. Now, we'll have to go through and tune all those when we get the engine started and running again. So enough talking, let's get these in the car. So I'm super hyped with these. They look super sick, and 10 out of 10. They're infinitely easier to work on in this engine bay than they were in the Miata. The Miata was so much more cramped. So this is super nice. I do need to find a shorter bolt for this one, and I need a longer bolt for this one. Technically, I should probably grab some slightly longer bolts for these top ones, but those are all really easy to get to, and all involve a Home Depot run. So in the meantime, super happy with how it looks, and I'm super hyped on it all. So alright, so we're gonna keep on chugging. I think next up, I'm going to go ahead and start probably like wiping off my injectors and getting them installed. They're fairly new still, so I'm not too worried about cleaning them. And you know, if you don't try to find problems, they don't exist. I feel like that's how this works, right? Anyway, meantime, we got this nice Radium engineering box that I ordered forever ago, which we got a fuel rail for a Miata. They are literally the only company that actually makes one. For the NB head at least. You can find them for the earlier model 1.8 heads, but it's really hard to find something that's going to fit on the NB. So we found this. Come on out. There we go. We got this nice, really nice looking billet, aluminum, Radium Auto fuel rail for it. And then I have over here are my crusty old fuel rail with the yellow RX7 injectors. So we're gonna go ahead and just pull these off, give them a quick wipe down with a little bit of like acetone or something just to clean off all the gunk off of them. And then we're gonna go ahead and install them on this fuel rail and get this thrown in the car. Okay, so now that our injectors are clean, one thing that's super important to check is your injector O-rings, especially like up here, because these things are super thin and these things break pretty easily. This one happens to be pretty good. However, there is one in here, this one specifically. If you look at it, it's got a nice little chunked up. If it'll focus. Yeah, if you look at this one, you can see that the injector O-ring has been torn right here. And so we need to replace this. So I did order a new set of fuel injector O-rings. There's the part number if you'd like it from Felpro. I'm pretty certain these are like OEM stock replacements. These injectors, if you guys don't know and are not familiar, these are 425cc yellow hat injectors from an RX-8. They are a direct fit into a Miata. However, you do need to be able to control the fuel in your Miata. I have a standalone in my ECU, or standalone as my ECU. Next up, we're just going to go ahead and start getting them seated into our fuel rail. One thing to note is, once again, you want to use an oil or even like a Vaseline would work to oil up these holes a little bit so that you don't have any friction when you get these in, so they don't pinch and they don't get jammed and you don't get a leak, because that would be bad and we don't want leaks. Okay. There's two mounting holes on the radium fuel rail. There's a top one and a bottom one. If you have the NB head for the 1.8 Miata motors, I believe you use this bottom one. If you have the NA head, you use the top hole. I have the NB head, so we're going to be using this bottom one. Pièce de la résistance. Sorry, I forgot to film an outro, guys. So here I am editing the video right now. I know it was a quick one. Thanks for standing by. I'm trying to roll out more quick videos so I can get more videos to you guys regularly. Stuff has been moving really slowly here, unfortunately, so it is what it is. On the next one, we're going to end up starting to get into the coolant tanks and like the overflow system and stuff like that, explaining stuff a little bit more in detail that's a little bit different just because of the radiator mount. But on this one, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.